Greetings, my friends. I've told you recently that people who are not Christians or Christians in name only or just vaguely Christian, that they believe more than Christians do that were in the last days, that they believe the signs that were in the end times are here even more than Christians, which is really sad. And today's video is kind of paralleling that to a point. It's very interesting stuff. It's very fascinating. I've always been fascinated by this man. And his title says, Prophetic 500-year-old prediction says the Antichrist will appear in 2023, which, as we know, is only several days away at the beginning of the year, and we have a 365-day period in that year. This is very fascinating stuff again. Let me give you a little bit of background. You all have heard of a man named Nostradamus. Again, I've been very, very fascinated by this gentleman for most of my life. His family was Jewish originally, a generation before, then converted to Christianity before he was born, and he was known as a Christian. He's also been called a seer, which is another name for a prophet. Though he never prophesied for God, some things he said would happen were eerily similar to actual events. He, among other things, predicted Hitler's rise, JFK's assassination, and 9/11, almost 500 years ago. And now, again, almost 500 years ago, he predicted that the Antichrist will appear in 2023. Now, biblical seers, prophets, saw visions from God. This man is secular, and again, he may have been a Christian. I doubt he was a devout Christian, but they say he was a Christian, and the historians do. But could he have been seeing things, as some things as well, not through God's eyes, but just happened to see things? He was also into astrology, which was forbidden in the Bible, and I don't put stock in man only in the Bible, but the Bible shows the Antichrist is getting very, very near. And I just find it quite ironic that a secular man, or a man who is a Christian, but not a man of God as we would know, a prophet or seer, who has been right many times on huge historical events, predicted for this event to happen next year, almost 500 years ago. Is it a coincidence? And it's pretty amazing stuff. And we know that all the signs show that the rapture is upon us. We know that the tribulation is upon us. We know that the Antichrist has to appear after the imminent rapture. And I think it's fascinating, this prediction. It's going to bear out. We'll see if this was something that was true or not. And if we're raptured, we're going to be raptured before the Antichrist appears. We won't see it with our physical eyes here on earth. We might be able to see it from heaven. I don't know if God will allow us to see that or not, if it will even matter. But I find it fascinating that this guy who has been almost right on the money on many, many things, a lot of other things that I didn't mention. These are the big three that I wanted to mention. But isn't it fascinating that he said that the Antichrist will appear in 2023? Again, I only go by the Bible. The Bible says all signs of the rapture are here. But it's fascinating that men who we look at as a secular man, and men who are definitely not the strong Christians we see in the Bible and we've seen in other places, would predict something that most of the world looks away from. Most of the church has no clue that we're even in the last days. It's pretty fascinating. But this is what I'm trying to say. All the signs of Christ's return are here from the Bible. Many men are saying they're seeing the signs. Even 500 years ago, they saw signs. And we need to make sure we're ready at all times. Keep our lamps filled with oil. Witness and pray for the lost night and day. And stay ready and stay focused on Jesus Christ and away from things of the world. Fascinating stuff. Take it for whatever you want to take it for. Jesus Christ is our only hope, my friends. If you've never been saved, you're backslidden. Pray the prayer. Do the 6 steps in the box below the video. No one's guaranteed more time in your life. If you like prayer, contact me. I pray for you every day. I love you with all my heart. And look up true Christians. Our redemption draweth nigh. We fly soon. May God bless you. Can't wait to see you in heaven. Give you a big hug. Kick back on our decks. Glass of iced tea with lemon and sugar for me. Whatever you're going to have. And we'll forget about this evil, wicked world. Make sure you share this video. Again, fascinating stuff. Very interesting. All the signs of the Bible are here. And even mankind who are not Christians, devout Christians, Christians in the way we look at strong Christians, they're even saying this stuff even 500 years ago. May God bless you. Take care. I love you and share.